Yo, I'm Budget Monk, and this is my Impossible Skyblock series. In this series, I plan to take this world to its absolute limits. It's just like a regular Skyblock world, except there's no tree, no chest, no blocks, and no other island. But we do have block. This is the real vanilla one block challenge. Well, who do we have here? Hello, my friend. And consistently, but we...
No way! Yes! Emerald number 2! No, don't fall off, don't fall off.
100 days into the world, guys, sitting in the tadpole, and it's snowing. Let's go! Because I finished last session with actually some pretty robust, healthy shovels here. And I was waiting on that in order to actually begin the process of expanding the world. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight as to how it is here, a little bit of real-time playing on the tadpole. And as you can see during the nights, it is pretty productive here. The sheer volume, I'm a little bit comfortable. I shouldn't get cocky here, but pretty comfortable doing this every night. Here we go. And the sheer amount of string that I'm getting, it's pretty good at a decent rate, as well as I always want to knock creepers off, but I can go ahead and look from above to see if they have any tools. Doesn't look like it right now, but these zombies are giving us shovels at a decent rate. So now that it's snowing, it's time to begin to expand the world. I'm going to expand around the left and the right in order to increase the productivity of the daytimes as well. All right, before we continue, guys, I wanted to continue the tradition here on our channel where I dub the third block, unique and first wool block of the world, Woolium. So great name job. Thank you very much for that, guys. And to reiterate for people who do not know, the reason I have a random wool block here along the snow is to indicate the distance at which that this inner area would become viable for passive mobs to spawn. So that is William's job. He sits here on watch. Time I was cleaning up the world and expanding out, and it just started snowing again. I guess it's a very snowy world here, guys, but as you can see, I've expanded and the world has taken shape. It's evolved a little bit. I no longer call it the tadpole, but instead the stingray. Check that out. I like giving the world cute little names like that, guys. It's I don't know, this is my whole existence right now. I'm very attached to it. So yeah, continuing the principle, guys, in theory, if I'm standing here, these are all completely safe during the night by using basically the proximity to us, right? Nothing can spawn, whereas the productivity of the spawner continues because it's the only location mobs are spawning throughout the night. So yeah, hopefully I can use the shovel and just grab some more and keep expanding the world now that it's snowing again. Oh my gosh, a magnanimous occasion. I just made a backup because I spend most of my daytimes hoping passive mobs spawn right now, waiting For what? That! My first emerald! Let's go, dude! Sick. So the fox just exchanged something in his mouth. Killing a rabbit or something like that. I saw an emerald in its mouth, and there it is. The downside is I now have another item in my inventory. Every time I want to reset the enemy mobs, I need to drop it on the ground like that when jumping off. But the plus side is that that is exactly what I'm here for. So you might have seen in that last clip that I put some walls up, and I just wanted to show those off right now. The morning's come, it's a bit safer. This is what I'm working with right now. Just using the wool that I have, putting it down instead of holding it in my inventory. And we've got some carpet here to prevent baby zombies from coming through. They can't get through that gap. But I can simply bust the wool down, go through, and then pull the wool back up. So I have been encountering some issues with mobs spawning on the outer areas. Alright guys, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a real-time experience here once again. Oh jeez, bunch of spiders spawned. So notice, I'm going to have to use my bow here. First of all guys, you can see I just got a bunch of shovels again, nicely. That's good. Notice that there's a ton of mobs over there on this area that I've created. And, oh gosh, 1 second. Notice that I'm standing to the right now. That means technically, over on the far left of this area, mobs could have spawned. So, although in theory, my idea of kind of like activate the spawner by standing on this position, and then activate the outer area by standing on William. Although that works good in theory, the world is actually becoming exceedingly dangerous. So, for example, that spider right there, guys, if I go out to even provoke him, nice, that's going to spawn mobs here, and they can actually shoot me as well. So, not only I'm encountering one issue where I'm getting the majority of mobs on this end, as you can see, as opposed to the spawner. And the spawner is it's still very fruitful, thankfully, but I am beginning to realize some of the flaws in my design. And I just wanted to let you guys know. Right now, I'm thinking that I'm going to extend these, the wall, with wool. That's the next use of my wool, to basically break the line of sight or the perception of enemy mobs that will spawn on either wing. So it was at this time that I did a really quick stream just to test the waters in terms of streaming, just showing the world in its current state off to like a few of my friends and stuff like that over on Twitch. And this happened live, guys. So I wanted to show you here, but that's why I'm a little bit different energy. Like I was really distracted, a little bit overwhelmed. Check it out. Pretty fast and consistently, but we need...
No way! Yes! Emerald number 2! No, no! Don't fall off, don't fall off. Don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off. What the frick? He traded items. Let me... Yes! Yes! Emerald number 2! Let's go! Oh my gosh, 133 days in.
Yeah, so as you can see, I obtained my second emerald live on stream. Pretty awesome. And right when I was talking about standing back and having passive mobs spawn as well. So as you guys can see, we're making quite some progress in the world, but that progress actually kind of slowed down in the sense of the overall evolution of the world. And I spent many days doing much of the same thing, where I was basically killing spiders, trying to access that spider string and therefore blocks via that method. And the method of obtaining shovel zombies in snow, that had become a much rarer phenomenon. And so as I was able to slowly accumulate blocks, I was really thinking hard about where I should be investing those blocks, because there's really no take-backsies here, guys. If I put a block down on adjacent to the void, it's very difficult to, basically impossible, to get underneath it and guarantee that I can reacquire that block, and let alone the fact that I need shovel durability to take back the snow blocks into my inventory. So after many days had passed, there was one major thing that I haven't really been showing to you guys because it's not that exciting, a bit of a bummer. And that is that if I'm going to obtain the Wandering Trader, I need to make sure that there's no snow on the ground, guys, because I am informed enough to know, I've done my research, that the Wandering Trader does not actually spawn on a snow layer. So that is the big bummer, guys. I spent probably tens of hours, I don't want to say 100 hours over the last month, but a long time cleaning up the snow layers after every single snowfall, whether I had the shovel to turn them to blocks or not. However, as you can see, I was getting the results, and it was just a matter of time, I suppose, until the moment of truth. Boom, boom, there it is, another emerald. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's try to trap this guy so it's nice and safe. I've been a little bit reckless in the past. Oh, save, dude. Yes, let's go. Emerald number 3. Oh, the juice, the value. Let's go. Awesome. Alrighty, guys, coming off the high of obtaining my 3rd emerald, which I'm stoked with, I wanted to show off the state of the world here. It's been 47 days since the beginning of the episode, so really beginning to put some time in, and the world has undergone quite some dramatic changes. So with that being said, let's take a look here. You can see I've just committed to having large pads on the left and the right side. Although there's a massive downside, which I'll get to. I've reworked the wool walls. It's quite hard to say that without sounding weird. The wool walls. And I'm really satisfied with them. So believe it or not, as of course spiders could just previously walk directly over the wall, it was really quite challenging to actually create a design which used minimal blocks, but also got results in making the world nice and safe. So as you can see here, the world is extremely safe all of a sudden, as that blocks the line of sight of pretty much every mob, and the spiders are unable to come over the edge. So I'm very happy on that front, and I'm beginning, hopefully, as evidenced by the emerald we acquired recently, I'm beginning to take advantage of the larger fruits of the day, so to speak, as passive mobs are spawning in at an increased rate. However, the downside is that due to so many viable spawning locations at night, the spawner itself, the grinder that I've been utilizing to obtain all of these shovels and so on, as well as the majority of my wool, right? This is where the most of my spiders had spawned. So that means blocks, guys. It means snow blocks and wool blocks. The rate at which that I'm obtaining them has reduced a lot. So I'm in a bit of a conundrum where, like, if I expand, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. And it makes me realize that if I could redo this, I probably should have sat on a smaller world and really grinded like a whole inventory full of shovels and then built the world out massively. That's probably what I should have done. But I've put so much time and energy into this world, guys, that it's too late now, you know, to go back. There's day 148 and it's snowing again. But before we continue, I wanted to show you guys that I actually have, hopefully, whoa, go away, scary, settled on a world name for the world, which is the Warhammer. Check that out. That's what we're settling with now, so, yeah. Yes. Emerald number 4, let's go. Continuing the daytime protocol of standing back on William, giving enough space for the world to generate passive mobs. The vast majority of which, of course, are foxes, rabbits, and wolves. However, just like the second episode, we did get our genuine passive mob, our pig friend. So I ended up fiddling around awkwardly trying to body push our pig over towards the handle of the hammer, as I pretty quickly realized that I'm going to need an area if we get passive mobs to basically corral those mobs, and I chose this as the designated area. And so I opted to use the blocks that I have, thinking hard about what is the next most important thing. I decided I was going to trap the pig in with a so-called pig pen. After building some basic walls for the pen and trapping the pig in, I went back to waiting for passive mobs, and lo and behold, a chicken spawned in as well. It occurred to me pretty quickly that I could use the bones that are left around by the skeletons during the day as they burn up to create bone meal, and therefore acquire seeds off of the Arnold's hair, of course, and then utilize the seed to attract the chicken. And I just chucked him temporarily into the pen as well, alongside of our pig. It occurred to me I needed to create a little space for the chicken to be safe from foxes actually gobbling them up. And while I was fiddling around with this stuff, I saw over on the horizon my first wandering trader spawn in.
Oh my gosh. First ever trader. The first ever trader. I'm actually... I don't know what to say. The first ever wandering trader just spawned in. It's day 161. I have 4 emeralds. Let me see it, of course. Above anything else, we want the moss block. Come on. Come on. Dang it. That would be a bucket of water, which I can't afford either. Despite, unfortunately, the trader not having the items we're looking for, I was able to coerce him over to the safer area of our world, the Warhammer, and actually trap him in an area, as well as dispatching the llamas, acquiring 2 leads, and ultimately acquiring a bucket of milk as well. By basically making a backup save file, softening him up towards 1 hit, and then finishing him off during the morning while he's sipping his bucket of milk. So the next passive mob to spawn in many days later was a pig, another pig, as opposed to a sheep, cow, or chicken. I'm stoked with that, guys, because if we can obtain carrots now, I'm able to actually breed the pigs and slowly but surely start building up a family. I've got good ideas for these pigs. With that being said, I did faff about a bit. I completely forgot that I have the leads and how useful they would be. So just like the first swine, I began to basically fiddle about trying to get this pig over towards the area, completely forgetting that I could just use the lead. But that wasn't on my mind at all. Instead, I was really excited. Why? Because as I dawdled about trying to body block and push the pig over towards the direction, lo and behold, another trader spawned, guys.
Oh my gosh, I was messing around with my second pig and I've got second wandering trader here. No! No! Now, this second trader didn't have the trades I was looking for either, but I was excited about the opportunity to obtain 2 additional leads, guys. As it turns out, in this area, in this choke point with the pig, it was getting really dicey, and it was just a matter of time till one or both of us fell off or something. And for that reason, I actually lost the trader as well as his bucket and the leads and so on. But I wasn't that torn up about it. I already have those items. It's not that important to obtain a few more. So I was really satisfied with the days, guys. They were exceedingly fruitful and going really, really well. But like I already mentioned, I was obtaining fewer and fewer shovels, which meant fewer snowballs during the nights. What I was still able to obtain, though, is string. Maybe not at the peak, but I was able to obtain a decent amount of string. So I thought to myself, if I really knuckle down and obtain some wool, what could I do to increase the rate at which we can obtain blocks? And that build was going to be a spider farm. Therefore, I could basically use the string or wool to acquire even more string or wool and move away from the reliance on snow blocks. So I got to work in a creative world, guys, where I basically designed, along with the suggestions from my Discord members. People helped me out and
we designed a space in which that only spiders were viable to spawn during the night, and therefore just hoping that if I put this behind the mob grinder, it would basically just increase the rate at which that I would have spiders spawn there due to the availability, and I would come in after the night and clean them up, obtaining generally more string and generally more blocks that we could then invest into other parts of the world. Bit of a proof of concept, as you can see here. This is the design that I was going with. Alrighty guys, before we invest and do a dramatic change to the world, adding the spider farm to this area, I wanted to show you guys where we are at before the dramatic change. Day 181. So it's been 81 days since the tadpole has existed, added wings, turned into the Warhammer, etc. This is what it's like during the night, guys. Nice and safe, as you can see. I can wander about freely with no issues. But as per usual, the mobs are all on the outer area, and this is where I often see shovels that I can't take advantage of. As the sun is coming up here, guys, I'll just show off my items really quickly. So I did learn from my community, thank you guys, that you can control drop items with Q. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I'm always here and excited to learn tips from you guys. If you could improve my gameplay, that would be awesome. So I'm much less worried about the issue of having to drop my items all of the time, as I can drop them quite easily, and therefore you can see that I've turned a lot of the bone and bone meal into flowers, seeds. We're accumulating quite some interesting items, and I do actually have a little bit of regret now of some of the items that I dropped, but that's okay. The main thing I'm trying to grind out here is some blocks, string, carpet, and so on to put into our build. Do a quick reset of the mobs here. This is the life, guys, on the Warhammer. That's how I get rid of them really quickly, if I will. Alright, now that the sun's up, guys, I want to show off the one thing that I haven't really shown off at all, which is the sort of temporary but also finished animal pen here. So I invested a lot of blocks in this many days ago, and as you can see, we have got our 2 pigs as well as our chickens safely inside of this little area, so the foxes can't get them. So guys, I know a lot of people wanted me to tame a dog, and there's actually so many dogs, guys. I can tame them at any time. Ever since that first one, there's some dogs right over there. Do you see them? They're so common. I can do it at any time. And initially, when I saw that first dog, I was worried about it knocking me off when I didn't want to and that sort of thing. So we have no dog for now. We can easily get one. But instead of naming the dog, I thought we could name some of our animals here. So I will take the liberty, because who needs a dog when you got a pig, a swine? Do you know what I'm saying? Look at this guy. The pigs are going to be called Frank. And yes, all of them are going to be called Frank. Now, it's very difficult to actually tell them apart without a name tag or anything. So they are all going to be called Frank at any given time because of their lineage, their dynasty. And that dynasty is the Frankenswine dynasty. So I definitely don't have any evil plans for our piggies, guys. And there's definitely not a very evil reason that I want to accumulate them. But I thought it'd be really cool, guys, as you know, the passive mobs are so rare, the real mobs. And as if we accumulate, say, chickens, right? All of the chickens could come from our chickens and the chickens' eggs here, which means they're all related. And if I ever did get another one, I could just slaughter it really quickly, you know, because that's probably the productive thing to do. So imagine if all of the animals on our world are pretty much all from the same lineage and dynasty of animals. Like we get some cows, we breed them with the wheat that I'm accumulating, which is from foxes' mouths. I think that would be really cool. The pigs are going to be the Frankenswine dynasty, and I would be interested to know, what do you guys think is a really cool name for our chicken dynasty of the world? You hear that? It's another egg. Let me know in the comments down below.
One day later.
Guys, trade number 3. I'm shocked because it really hasn't been that long. This is doing great. It took 60 something days for the first one. The other two have been they've been less than half that easily. Backup save, okay? In case he falls off or something, let's not make that same mistake. That means I should be able to get another bucket and more leads. Oh, I'm excited. The sun's going down. Frank can't get out, can he? Okay. Come on, baby. I actually am on 6 emeralds now, guys. This is it. Come on. I think you guys know, well, a tree costs 5, but there's something even more valuable than that. Let's see it, baby. Oh, my God. Yes. Too easy. There it is, boys. There it is, guys. As you can see, the moss block after 182 days in game and months in total of grinding, we've got the moss block. This is probably the most pivotal point ever since the initial zombie with a shovel. I'm absolutely stoked over the moon, and needless to say that next episode is going to be absolutely action-packed. Speaking of action-packed, I will be doing a live stream right here on YouTube on a week from posting this video, which should be the 9th of June. Some of you it will be the 8th of June because I'm so far ahead here in New Zealand. If you guys want an in real time notification that I'm going live, join my Discord channel where the link is in the description down below, where I will ping you when it is that I'm going live so you don't miss out. This is going to be a full-blown live stream, guys, where I don't just simply showcase the world, but we're going to be having so much to mess around with, including wood and a working bench. So I'm feeling so blessed, guys. Thank you so much for supporting and watching me. I appreciate you, and I'd love to see you in the next episode.